everybody. It's let's see, it's Friday, December 20th, and it's a little late in the day for my daily live post, and I left a little message here earlier saying that today my daughter Violet had an event at her school that interfered with my Live at 11 schedule. So I'm here now. So my name is Crispina French, and I am a lifelong textile waste recycling environmentalist. And I have given myself a challenge on Black Friday, so November 29th, for 30 days to post every day live here on Facebook and also on Instagram to talk to you guys about how to through the holiday footprint. So thinking about ways we can address our excessive consumption and thinking about ways we can consume things that are meaningful, that are well thought through and researched, so that we can make sure that we stand behind the companies that we're supporting and also feel really good about the things that we're spending our money on and gifting to others. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what we do in our house for baking and for cooking. And actually, when my kids get home from school today, we are going to be baking some of my mom's recipes for cookies. And one of my kids is gluten-free. So we adjust the recipe just a little bit to work so that we can have delicious cookies that are also gluten-free. And for the gluten-free flour, we use something that's made, it's a blend that's made by Bob's Red Mill. It's available in our grocery store, but we buy it in bulk actually. We're members of a local food co-op. It's just a buying group that we belong to in our little town of Beckett. And so we buy the 25-pound bags of Bob's Red Mill gluten-free mix. There's two different kinds of gluten-free mix that company makes. We prefer the Blue Label. I'm not sure what the difference is, although the Blue Label just seems to have a more consistent flavor to the regular wheat flour that most people are used to. So that's what we use for that. And then we also use this product that's called Oat Milk. And one of the things that I've learned in the last few years since becoming a vegan a few years ago, and I'm a very loose vegan. I wear leather shoes. I eat figs. I use honey. So I guess I'm a little bit of not really a vegan, but I don't eat animal products. And one of the main, well, initially I came to my diet based on some health issues I was dealing with around my digestion. And I started being vegan, if you will, using a macrobiotic diet that was really helping me with a diagnosis of ulcerative colitis. And we can talk more about that if you guys are interested at another time. But since that introduction, I've really become really hooked on the lifestyle that accompanies being a plant-based eater. So I use non-dairy milk in all of the things that I eat. My family does use dairy milk. We buy our milk from a local farm. We're so lucky to live in a place where we're able to buy raw milk in glass bottles at North Plain Farm in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, run by Sean Stanton. And I just really want to shout out to him and say thank you so much for providing our community with that really good quality food product. So for those of us who are plant-based, I use Oatly, and Oatly is a delicious replacement for dairy milk. And it's made, so initially I started with soy milk, and I tried nut milks, almond milk, rice milk, and all of the different types of non-dairy milks that are out there. And none of them were really providing me with a flavor that compared to, not even just the flavor, but the texture, the kind of creaminess that one becomes accustomed to while using a dairy-based product. I'm not a big milk drinker, but I like to bake. So Oatly oat milk really has the flavor and the texture of a baking quality that is what I was looking for. And I learned that oat milk is made from oats, and oats are very easy to grow compared to any kind of nuts. And they're gluten-free, and they're also organic. So I'm working on developing my own recipe to make my own oat milk. But in the meantime, Oatly oat milk is a really good replacement. The reason why I want to make my own oat milk is because we buy Oatly. It's not from the grocery store. We buy it in, we order it right from the company actually, and it comes in this Tetra. What's this called? It's a Tetra pack, and it's plastic. I mean, great that it's not damaging the earth with the intensive consumption aspects around the dairy industry, but every container that we use winds up either floating in the ocean or polluting our planet in some way. So working on developing my own recipe for oat milk that tastes half as good as Oatly. I haven't gotten there yet. I've just been experimenting, and when I do get there, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Okay, and then another thing that we use as a replacer for a dairy product is coconut oil. You can use this for baking in place of butter. It has a slight coconut flavor, but it seems to work really well. The consistency is good for baking. And then I also use a product called Earth Balance, which is another dairy replacer. It's I buy the organic variety. There's a bunch of different like flavors and compositions of Earth Balance in the grocery store. It's usually right near the butter. It's packaged just like butter. It comes in sticks, and you can also buy it in a tub, although the tubs are plastic. So Earth Balance organic is an even more exact replacement for butter. The coconut oil works really well for I use it. I actually make some vegan chocolate with it, and I'll talk to you about that another time. But try one or two of those, either of those replacements for any kind of dairy baking that you might be doing this season. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is products that are close by. Like this product, it's empty right now, but it's our local Burley Farm cow milk yogurt, and it's organic, and it's packaged in glass, which is super awesome. And the farm takes the glass containers back at our food co-op in Great Barrington. And the Burley Farm, we have a long shared history, actually. Beatrice Burley runs the farm. She makes amazing cheeses. If you're a dairy eater and a cheese eater, check those out. They're like award-winning, amazing. I don't eat cheese, but I've heard from those who do that are my friends that it's just like really amazing. And their yogurt is amazing as well. It has all the names of the cows listed on the container. Let's see, it's hard to read because it's empty, but Myrtle and Letty and Root and Irma and Fanny and Julia and Veronica and Padma and Lucy and Quiet and Tiffany are their cows right now. So it's just really cool. And when you buy a product that's locally made, it just costs the environment a lot less. It doesn't have to be trucked across the world to get to you. So if there are good quality, locally produced products that you can use in your grocery list, then just get those if you can. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to mention to you guys today is packaging food. So we use mason jars, and we use them in all different sizes. This actually is a 20-ounce jar that I like to use to drink water. I drink 4 of these glasses a day, and that gives me my 80 ounces. Sometimes I drink a little bit more than that, but that's my baseline. These are great. This is a 16-ounce great size for packaging soups for lunch. I often actually package my lunch in the jars, even if it's not soup. So I'll put some rice and vegetables in there and bring it to work with me. And the really great thing, my dog just did a flip. I'm not sure what she's up to. The really great thing about all of these jars, this is a great lunchbox size, is that I don't know about you, but I have in my past had like tons of different kinds of Tupperware and plastic containers with tons of different kinds of lids that never, you can never like reach in the cabinet and grab the container that you need and the lid at the same time. They're like, it's like socks in the laundry, right? They're always kind of not together. So with these, the jars are, all the wide mouth jars take the same size cover. All the small mouth jars take the same size cover. So we basically have 2 different size covers in our drawer full of, we have a drawer full of tops. So it's easy to find them. And we don't use any Tupperware in our house because, plastic. Let me tell you a little story. So my husband's a plumber, and if you're familiar with our plumbing in our culture, a lot of plumbing pipes are made from PVC, which is a plastic, and a lot of them are made from copper. So he uses copper piping to go to bring water for any kind of potable water source, so like kitchen sink, bathroom sink, whatever. And he's really very knowledgeable and concerned with the idea that plastic pipes actually off gas. So when you're using plastic pipes to bring your drinking water to your sink, if there's, if it sits in the pipe for a while, it takes on the attributes of the plastic, which is not great for your health, and it's not great for the flavor of the water. So as well, all kinds of plastic containers do the same thing. So if you store your food, especially fatty food, the plastic kind of off gases in itself. So good to kind of steer clear of the plastic if you can, and the mason jars provide a really great way to do that. And actually, mason jar is kind of like saying Band-Aid when you're talking about those adhesive bandages that stick to your skin when you cut yourself. This is actually a ball jar, and we have mason jars, we have ball jars. Kerr, K-E-R-R is another brand. They all have the same size lids, so it doesn't really matter which brand you buy. And lids are very, you can buy the lids separately as well. So if you run out of lids, or after a while they get a little rusty and weird and you have to kind of replace them. But for the most part, they're long-lived. They're nice. We have a special little washing brush that we use in our sink to keep those nice and clean. They're just really anything. I also do in the jams when the fruits are in season, so I do like blueberry, and I did blueberry and peach jam, and I also did tomato sauce. So those are all stored in jars as well. So they're very, you can just use them across your whole life and throughout your whole kitchen, and they're easy to get. You can buy them online, I'm sure, and you can also buy them at the hardware store, actually, for us anyway. So that is my little helpful, environmentally minded tip for today. And I hope you enjoyed this series, and it's going to continue on through December 29th. And I'm thinking of my next series. I'm thinking about doing a series on the house that we live in. And we moved into our house last March, and it's not really completely finished yet. And I'd really like to focus some of my attention on getting it finished. Our home is a renovation project that we started about 5 years ago and just kind of chipped away at it little by little. And it's all done in an environmentally friendly way. So we did an all green renovation. And if you guys are interested, let me know if that sounds like something you'd want to learn about for 30 days, like maybe starting in mid-January, something like that. Today, I hope you enjoy the rest of your beautiful Friday, and I'll see you